Hey, good morning, friends. So, seasonal summon, Springvale has activated for 40 odd days, and we have some new heroes, and old heroes have been given costumes. So, this costume already existed. There's a new costume, new written over there, new costume. That's a new hero, and there's a new hero. So, let's quickly breeze through the costumes. I will clear Archie first because it's not featured. The rest of the fellows can be poked and activated on the screen immediately. So, Archie's old costume was 250 whack to all and 150 damage for the immunity ailment that he puts in for buffs. So, any attempted buff would have 150 damage. And of course, he gets the minus 10 accuracy for 4 turns, which cannot be cleansed. The new version is Druid. This is the family bonus. For 2 and 3, they need to make it 1, 2. So that's plus 10 and plus 20% attack. As for the number of heroes, of course, the costume bonus comes into play, which makes him absolutely top. And in terms of stats. And the difference between the costume, original and the costume, is damage to all has been reduced by 10%, and penalty, that is, damages on attempted buff, has been increased from 150 to 300. Rest stays the same. Couple of good points. Stats boost is absolutely fantastic because that's 15% attack, 15% defense, 20% health, and mana bonus is useful because he's fast speed, so he can be made speedier in terms of tiles to charge. And there are people who actually track it with Excel sheets and stuff like that, which has been known since I started the game. I've never felt the need to do that, but okay, because there are too many factors that come into play. The amount of ailments via talent, hero specials, passives, and there are multiple passives, is so high. Even fiends and minions is so high that trying to do that is really insane, because then you have to a player ends up creating limitation for himself or herself, and I will just leave it at that, which adds to the stress quotient of engaging with this game. There is first an engagement with this game, then we play the game. So, costume version obviously improves him in terms of the damage on attempted buff. And of course, stats. So the stats increase due to the costume covers up, more than covers up that 10% reduction of the costume damage reduction. So yeah, Archie is fantastic. Let's look at Jasper. What has changed over here? So Jasper was okay, so it's almost the same. All allies used to generate, then 50% attack for 6 turns, 50% critical chance, and he would get minus 5% mana gen. Slow fellow. Still slow. The generation of health has been almost the same, but now 5 turns. Then all allies get plus 60%, so there's a 10% increase of attack for 5 turns, and plus 60% critical chance for 5 turns, which is huge. And the mana. So basically the same. Benefit is this, and an improved special, because heal over turn, over 6 turns being reduced to 5, I would have said make it 2000 HP over 4 turns. That would be like, wow. So I'm saying reduction of number of turns is always useful if you're increasing the HP. And of course, the attack and the critical chance percentage increase is most welcome because he provides that. Quite a lot of players use him on Titans, which is, yeah, where he has a brilliant use with that critical chance and attack up. So, yeah, that's Jasper. Improved version, I would say. The costume is an improved version. Let's move to the new editions. Timothy, a fire legendary. Dodger, this we have discussed. Stats 978, 990, 1823 is, I would say, good. It's closer to the 1000 mark, so that's fine. There are many players who actually look at team power. Please don't look at team power, it means squat. Seriously. What is important is, to an extent, these stats and what is over here. Please don't pay attention to this. This over here can create mayhem. There are many heroes who would be 100 or 200 less in terms of team power. But this is what sets you up, ties you down, finishes you off. So, team power is an indicative of whatever it is, but the actual hero card is what matters. So, adventure awaits at average speed is the special. Boosts health of all allies by 560. Okay, that's a good number at average speed. All allies get plus 20% attack and an additional 10% each time any ally casts their special skills. So it is based on the special skills casting. Okay. And caps up to a maximum of plus 70% for the next 3 turns. I would have wanted 4 turn because it is dependent on allies casting specials, which is the benefit is not available now, which would have been better if it was a turn extra, but he is average speed. So, well, the good thing about this plus 70%, obviously it will take a lot of hero specials being fired to reach 70. And I would like to believe it will be more close to 40 or to an extent of 50% is what one can expect, unless there is something magical. So I would look at a plus 50 being achieved, plus 40 to 50 being achieved. And the other good part is if 70 is achieved, whether the hero special benefit comes or not, because this plus 70 will add on to the hero special from a damage perspective, if it's a damagey special, to hit hard, but the tile damage will be always on. So I will leave it at that. Or it could have been, 35% attack with 8% each time an ally casts their special skills. But okay, SG has their metrics and logic, and that's fine. They design the heroes. So realistic would be somewhere around 40 to 50% attack up. And okay, so boosted health and attack up, 2 things. And the caster gets minus 20% defense. These are the fault lines that have been built into the Springvale heroes. That era is gone. They need to remove this. Seriously. Because there are heroes that have the first 2 specials and the third one of a fault line is not required. But okay. And this effect cannot be cleansed unless you have Gazelle. So if Gazelle is there, this cleanse happens. Or not just Gazelle. Any of those dancey heroes. So now we have the opera fellows who dance also. So but if the opera is firing and taking this away, then it's insane. And there are quite a few other heroes also who don't allow, like I think it's Jean-Francois. So a lot of fellows would team up Kill Hair with Jean-Francois. Now I have to go out and come back. I think Kill Hair has the minus attack, so whatever. So well, it's a good hero. Boosted health to all, attack up to all, and that fault line. Fault line is that irritation. In terms of overall Aether power stats, these are good stats. I did not check. This is good, 1130, but then he's a healer, so that's not a point even to be. This is close to 1300, which is decent for a 1-year-old hero. So that's Timothy for you. Let's go to the blue. Ice hero. Oh, those are damn good stats. Miss Ethel, an ice legendary, fighter class, so ability to revive. We have spoken about this, and the stats are pretty good, I would say, as a combo. That's a very good health. And this is closer to 1000. Needs 3 emblem nodes and should be right there. Sometimes when this is high and this is high, so the pressure goes off and one can actually make some choice and design the hero via the talent route. So that really helps. If this was somewhere closer to 8, 50, 60, then it becomes a little bit of a challenge to invest those emblems to spurs this up. Let's look at the special. Moving for a fight at average speed. Okay. Deals 600% damage to the target. That's a hard whack. If the target has more than 40% health before receiving damage. Okay. Targets another enemy who had over 40% health before receiving any damage from this special skill. So if the target gives a hard whack to the target, and if the target had more than 50% health, even if the target dies, but had more than 50% health before receiving damage, Ethel will target another enemy who had over 40% health before receiving any damage from this special skill. If none of the other enemies had 40% health, then targets a random enemy. So there is a second whack that is going to be given to a random. But if there is another one who she whacks that has 40% health, 40% or above, then it is going to go on. The damage is reduced on each consecutive hit. So this is a Finlay, or even this latest one, he uses mana. Finlay uses buffs. And this fellow uses mana, Lemonwood. So Ethel, this is a hard whack, 600. And of course it reduces on each consecutive hit. Each enemy can be only hit once, which is not the case with Lemonwood. Lemonwood goes on like a machine gun, hitting away to glory. So Miss Ethel is going to be real bad ass. Caster gets minus 15% mana generation for 3 turns. This effect cannot be cleansed unless there are a few things that happen which ensure that this doesn't happen. This ailment doesn't start itself. Which is why I use Archie along with Gazelle, because Archie obviously gets the benefit of being a hit all, gets the benefit of the Gazelle's buff, and then that ailment doesn't sprout because the Gazelle's buff is going on. So what do I say about Ethel? She is a powerhouse. Fuck. She's gonna be bad news. 600 damage to a target. That is, if so, one is going to get the 600 hammer. And if that target before the hit had plus more than 40% health, somebody else gets it, and somebody else also with more than 40%. So if all other fellows have less than 40, then nobody gets it. But this buff is activated to hammer others if others have more than 40%. And if all the five have more than 40%, then the target obviously gets it, and the other four also. The only difference will be it'll not be 600, but the damage is reduced on each consecutive hit, and each enemy can only be hit once. That's the mercy that has been built into this special. Yeah, you need to have that whistle, baby, because you are going to be mean, and you look like mean also. Padded up and ready. Well, good luck facing her. And remember, she is this, so she can actually come back and hammer away. Wow. Oh gosh. So that's this portal. Good luck in case you're looking forward to pulling in this portal, because you can do it with the Epic Hero tokens. And congratulations in case you have already pulled. See you in the next video. Cheers.